My name is Mario Franco. This webcast is about the Sustainable EDU Project Master Plan. The concept of a master plan, it's a ICT education plan to plan the actions, the different actions in one holistic view related to the inclusion of technology in education. This is very important considering the number of different aspects and components related to ICT in education sometimes make people lose their capacity to implement the projects. The idea here is to show an overview of the different components at the same time. The second aspect is related to the main frameworks published by public sector and private sector related to the planning of this type of initiatives, especially in a wide scale. As you can see in this map, we choose five fields, 5 areas of intervention: the vision, the ICT infrastructure, the training, the content, and the management. This is the 5 areas we choose based on the different frameworks and based on the experience we already have to plan this type of initiatives. As you can see, this plan is for 5 years and is divided in 5 pillars, in 5 areas of work. This the first one, related to the vision of the project. Is very important to define the vision of the project and to evolve with this vision during the, let's say, the 5 years period. Then we think is important to engage everybody in the production of the vision, teachers, trade unions, different stakeholders, students, and everybody involved in this process. Then we plan for the first year the principles will be established by somebody, by the Ministry of Education or by any entity created for that purpose. In the second year, the result of this work should be announced. And in the third year, the principles will be integrated in all the system. For the fourth year, we think we should guarantee the principles are appropriate. And after the fifth year, it should be renovated and innovated, this framework of principles. Then this will be one of the pillars of this framework. And of course, these steps are not exactly, they don't need to be exactly like that. What we need is to have a process to establish a vision, a common vision, and this common can be diverse, can be multi-sectoral, can be even with different opinions inside, but it's important to have a vision of this transformation of education, which implies the education ICT program. A second pillar we include in this framework is the ICT infrastructure. In many of the frameworks we will analyze, they include this pillar for this type of projects. In the first year, it should be realized an assessment, a complete assessment of the situation. And in the second year, a procurement plan, a plan should be defined, including the Education Management Information System, the MES, the connectivity plan for schools, for the structures, even for students and teachers, and also the power approach. Electric power is one of the odds to extend the use of ICT in many countries in the schools. Then in this first year, we think is important to have at least 20% of the students and teachers with a device and connectivity to start to create a critical mass. The third year is important to arrive at least to the 50% of students and teachers using the system, and create an extent critical mass where everybody is involved, although at least 50% will be the number of rating between students and teachers and device and internet access. In the fourth year, it is important to have the system conclude, to avoid any equity difficulties, and to engage everybody from the lowest income families to the highest, and start the renovation after the fifth year, because the fifth year will be already 4 years or 3 years of some of the devices. It's important to start the renovation of all the equipment, and this will be analyzed in the future webcasts. It will be a very important aspect, the ICT infrastructure. Another of the five pillars we choose is the training. It's important to have the plan approved in the first year when the project is launched, and after go at least alongside with the teacher competence framework of UNESCO. Although this training system will not be only for teachers, will be for students, for coordinators, for everybody involved in the system. Then in the first year of the program, let's say the second year of the plan, will be developing digital literacy at a widest extent as possible. The year 3 will be deepening the knowledge, and then everybody will be really use not only the capacity to use the technology, but also to use them in the learning and education context. And the year 4 will be knowledge creation. Then the people will need to be prepared to generate their own approaches, to have a very deep critical mass to be able to manage and dominate the system. Then in the year 5, we think personalized learning will be extended. Then every student, every teacher, they have their own process of learning and teaching, and this will be possible after 5 years of intense training, intense work with these technologies. A key point in this project is the content. Then we think it's important to have the content policy published in the first year, to allow the publishers to have the producing the content, to integrate them in the textbooks. Either is the public publisher or even private publishers competing in the market, or even international publishers. They have to know what is the policy and to provide the content. Then in the year 3, we have to guarantee then the content delivery is assured for everybody. And in the year 4, the content should be used. The digital content, the different formats, the different approaches should be used. And in the year 5, it should be also included in a wide extended content generation from the students and teachers, to be integrated in the process, either in the publishers or even sharing process. Then this, we think, should be part of the plan. In this presentation of the framework, is a short presentation. We think this justify webcasts for each of these pillars, for each of this process. But in this first overview, we include the management of the process. To set up a structure, specialized, is very important, and it's what guarantee coordination in all sectors. Then in year 2, we think it's important to have a legal statute for this structure with clear responsibilities among the different partners. In the year 3, we think it's important to assure then this structure have, and this program, an annual budget defined in the parliament or by the government, to assure then a continuity and mid-term and long-term plans. Year 4, it is a year clear where the partnerships for the development of the program, either with telcos, with publishers, or with international partners, should be assured. And in the year 5, we think there will be maturity to create a law which include every aspect and define responsibilities, define every aspect, career path, whatever it needs to make this program very stable. Okay, this is a general presentation of the framework we envisage, considering the different frameworks, and we will go and explain all of these in detail in the coming webcasts. This framework, the Sustainable EDU Policy Framework, especially the Project Master Plan, is based in several frameworks, guides, and recommendations. And we will introduce you the main resources, the main frameworks we use to build this framework. One of the frameworks we use is SABER from World Bank. SABER means System Approach for Better Education Results, but SABER in several languages, in Portuguese, in Spanish, also means knowledge. Then this framework is one of our main resources, and we will present this in coming webcasts. One of the frameworks we use is the ICT in Education Toolkit. This is developed by UNESCO, by the Japanese authorities, and InfoDev, Knowledge Enterprise, several different institutions, and is created some time ago, but it can be a reference. This is a very holistic approach with very detailed, then we think is a very good reference to develop this framework. We use the Microsoft Education Transformation Framework. The framework has two approaches, one for K-12 education transformation and the other one for higher education. Then we present them and we study them very careful because they are a good resource. We also use the Intel Education Strategic Planner. It's another framework which can be used as a resource. This webcast is part of the Sustainable EDU Policy Framework Accelerator Workshop. And these webcasts, or this group of webcasts related to distance learning and education, can be used as a single model, or you can choose to go to all the workshop, and because some of the other webcasts in other sections will be related to the implementation or have subjects related to this webcast. Then this webcast is not alone, but you can go and see more and more information in the other parts of this workshop. The workshop itself is part of the Sustainable EDU Policy Framework Architecture, which is a framework of frameworks to train and planning and implement ICT education projects in a sustainable way. Then please feel free to go to the website and to look at the different parts, different sections where I deliver a lot of videos and also documents and links to implement this kind of projects. Thank you.